Hey guys, Kai here from Magic Kai, and I'm reading Mistborn. This is going to be my spoilery, vloggy type video of me reading Mistborn, because I want to have my experience of this book and this trilogy actually documented, because I know I'm gonna love it. I know I'm gonna finish it. This is my first Brandon Sanderson book. I've never read anything by Brandon Sanderson before. I have seen multiple interviews, but I have shielded myself from all of the spoilers, so I have no idea. But I just wanted to give a little bit of an intro to this video, and yeah, I'm super excited for this. I've been anticipating it for a really long time, so I guess I'm just gonna go start reading it now. I'm scared. So, prologue is read. This guy Kel's here seems like kind of a badass. Just saying. Not sure what's going on with this ash falling from the sky thing and how everyone just thinks that's normal, because probably is, but I don't really understand why. So hopefully I figure out the answer to that. But yeah, this guy Kel's here. Seems like he's got some underlying power that maybe he isn't so forthcoming about. So I guess we'll figure out about that too. But yeah, those are my thoughts so far. Not really sure what the ska is yet. I think they're just kind of like worker bees for the Lord Ruler. But hopefully I'll understand more about that soon too. Good prologue though. I'm intrigued. Hey guys, so it's about midnight and I ended up reading about 75-ish pages of Mistborn, and I'm already sucked in, man. We found out that Vin is kind of the chosen one, or that she's Mistborn, which basically means that she can use all of the metals to create these powers, but we haven't really been introduced to what those powers are yet, except for what she speaks of as luck, so she can kind of control the emotions of other people, which I think is really freaking cool. But I'm loving this friendship between the two guys. I can't even think of what their names are right now. I think it's I don't know. But basically the two guys that come and save her, if you've read the book, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm really loving them and their dynamic. I think it's hilarious, and yeah, so I'm really interested to see what kind of friendship these two have, and if it, continues throughout the book. Usually fantasy, especially adult fantasy, takes me quite a while to actually get into and really be sucked in, so I'm really surprised that I'm already kind of immersed in this world. So from what I can tell, the ska are really just, peasant folk. And I also think it's really, really interesting that up until now, she has been kind of generating her luck through the water, because the water has metal in it. It has little particles of metal. So it makes sense how she was able to generate at least a little bit, but now she kind of is discovering how, if she actually ingests flakes of metal, that her powers are amplified a million times. And that's really interesting. It's interesting that no one has really found out until now. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this. Definitely gonna read more tomorrow. But yeah, it's it's intriguing me. I'm really into it, and I am excited to read more tomorrow, but I have to get up early to take care of the child tomorrow, so I'm off to bed, but I will definitely check in tomorrow once I read some more. So Mistborn is getting really, really, really good. I just read the first kind of like action scene where he goes and tries to infiltrate this place to get some metal, and there's like 15 guards there waiting for him. So I have definitely been introduced to Brandon Sanderson's amazing combat. Like, I don't think I've read combat like that pretty much ever. And it's interesting how he kind of like says, okay, he's burning this kind of metal and using this power, and burning this metal and using this power. I think it's really, really interesting. And yeah, I'm really, really liking him as a character. I forgot what his name is. Badassery is going on, and I have a feeling it's only going to get more badass over time. So yeah, I'm feeling really, really good about Mistborn right now, and I'm really excited to keep reading it. I think I'm about like 120 pages in right now, but I am super loving it, and I'm super loving Brandon's writing style. I think it's really, really, like, it's not dry, but it's not like overly descriptive. It just kind of is what it is. And yeah, I'm really enjoying that too. So I'll give you guys another Mistborn update soon. Alright guys, time for a Mistborn update. And I just finished chapter 6, and I just wanted to talk about how I'm loving, like, how he's world building and developing a plan at the same time. Like, I like how we can kind of see how the plan is coming together, and how everyone's ideas are kind of helping build the plan, but at the same time, we're also getting a lot of kind of information about how the world works and how the city is and all of the goings on in the city, because we didn't really know much about it before. So I'm really enjoying that, and I love how Brandon kind of put those things together, because I've actually never, I don't think I've read a fantasy in which you actually get to see the plan being developed. Normally it's kind of like a big secret until it happens, and then something always goes wrong. So it's really interesting to see how the plan develops and how it's developing the world at the same time. So yeah, that's all I have to say for now. Except for the fact that I'm really intrigued about Kelsier's brother, because he just kind of showed up at the end of chapter 6, so I'm pumped to see kind of what's going on with that, because clearly they have some kind of beef or something going on, so I'm interested. So I have read a lot today. I was doing some sprints for the House Cupathon and having a ton of fun, but I just wanted to share my thoughts so far. So far, Vin is really kind of timid and kind of growing into herself and kind of exploring her powers and going through this training, and everyone's like super surprised at how fast she's learning. So she's definitely stepping up to the plate. Right now, I'm on page like 240 or so. I don't know if I said that already. I'm exhausted. But she has just gone to her first ball as a proper, like, rich girl. And she's super nervous, but I think that she doesn't have too much to be nervous about. I know that she doesn't know everything, but I think that things are going smoothly so far. Though she did realize that she doesn't know how to dance, which is probably something that she should know. So they need to get on teaching her that, because that's kind of an important thing to know as someone who is, posing as someone looking for a husband. So there's that. But Kelsier is super, super asshole-ish. Like, he's just... I love him so much. He's so funny. Like, I loved that moment where he was teaching Vin how to push and pull metals, and she was going up onto the wall, and he, like, didn't help at all. He was just like, yeah, do this. I'll meet you at the top. Bye. And then he goes to the top, and she's like, oh, I guess I'm doing this. So she pushes her way to the top, and then she's just sitting there in the air, like, can you help me? Like, I don't know how to get over there. Can you pull me over there, please? And he's like, make sure you don't move to the left or the right, or you'll fall to your death. Make sure you don't move. Stay really still. Stay really still, or you'll fall. And she's, like, freaking out. He's just such an asshole, but I love him so much. But yeah, I guess that's where I'm at right now in my current thoughts. I'll definitely be reading more tomorrow. I'm super, super enjoying it thus far. I think if I had to rate it right this second, it would be a 4 stars, but I know that some crazy shenanigans is gonna happen in this book, and I'm almost positive it's gonna bump it up to a 5, so yeah. I am really enjoying it, and I'm having a blast reading, so those are my thoughts. Literally think that I just had a heart attack because Vin just got really messed up by, like, 3 inquisitors that they ran into while trying to get into this room in the Lord Ruler's, like, fortress. And they're both all messed up. Think I might die because, anxiety. So, I need to continue reading right now, but I needed to take a minute to express my heart attack. So now that I know that the girl is still freaking alive, I had some thoughts. And firstly, being that when Kelsier went to do this the first time and break into this room that he is convinced something is hidden in, there were 3 inquisitors. This time, there were also 3 inquisitors. But this time, they didn't specifically go after Kelsier, they went after Vin. So this makes me believe and speculate that these inquisitors know something about Vin that Vin may not herself know. So I'm definitely thinking about that. I'm also really interested in the powers of, what's his name? I'm also really interested in the powers of Sazid, which we're kind of slowly unwrapping now. I think that he definitely has a lot more going on than meets the eye at this current moment as well, so I guess we will figure that out as time goes on, but thank God that he does, because if not, Vin would definitely be dead right now. Literally dying. Need to know all the answers to all the questions. Hey guys, I've read quite a bit of Mistborn this evening, and I figured I would give you guys a bit of an update while I'm on a sprint break. So, basically a lot has happened. Something that kind of sticks out to me is the fact that one of the crew members was talking about how only noble-born people end up with mist powers. So like they end up mistborn, or with one of the powers, misting, I think it's called. So I think that's interesting. And he was also talking about how ska were originally a lot shorter and they have much more children than noblemen do. So maybe there's some actual physical difference between being a ska and being a noble. So that's really interesting because it does seem kind of weird that only noble-born people, or someone that has noble blood within the past, I think it's like 5 generations, can have misting powers or be mistborn. I thought that was super interesting and kind of perplexing. But yeah, basically there's just a lot of political stuff going on right now with Vin going to these balls and talking to all these people. She did meet this very interesting character. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head right now, but basically he's one of the heirs for one of the big houses, and all he does is read, and he has this book that's kind of questioning the validity of a lot of the things that the Lord Ruler has implemented, and how before the Lord Ruler took over, there was a lot of switching of kings because obviously they eventually die. So he was talking about how strange it is that instead of the empire being more stable, it's actually a lot less stable because, you know, there's all these ska and they're poor and a lot of political problems are happening in the world. So it's kind of interesting to me that that's the case as well. So as I'm getting more into the book, I'm honestly just coming up with more and more questions that I don't have answers to. But hopefully I will get some of the answers that I seek soon. Also, Vin is kind of, I think, liking this like nobleman character, and that's also a little bit troubling because I don't know what his intentions are or what his aim in this game is, but he's kind of been gone for a while since she realized that he had that book. So I guess those are my thoughts. I am currently on chapter 22, page 379. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna continue reading and hopefully get some answers. Alright, so just a quick thought here. So I just found out that Sazid's people, what are they called? The Keepers, store physical attributes inside metal. So that got me thinking about Vin's earring, because her brother gave it to her and said it was her mother's, right? And she seems to have this like attachment to it. I'm not sure why I'm thinking about this, but it seems like maybe her mother was a keeper and her mother passed her strength onto her children through this earring. I could be completely wrong, that could be completely misguided, but it's just something that I was thinking as I was reading that little bit. Oh my god, you guys. I'm editing this right now and I'm realizing that this theory could mean that Vin is an Allomancer and a Keeper, which means that she could be the one that the Lord Ruler is afraid of in the first place, which I'll explain a little bit more of that later on. Of information. So, we'll see. Maybe I'm right, probably completely wrong. So a lot is happening. For quite a while, we were just kind of watching the politics unfold and see how they were infiltrating these balls and finding information about these different houses. But now something has actually happened, and I think that it's going to push a lot of things into motion prematurely. The guy that ended up giving them the money for this job is dead, along with most of their army. So he basically decided that he was going to send them into battle to fight the garrison for no reason, because he thought it would help their training. But instead, it just got them all freaking killed. So they're all dead. Some smart men decided to stay behind, and those are the ones that are still alive. So now Kelsier and Vin and the rest of the team are basically sitting in the city watching the Lord Ruler kill pretty much like thousands of ska workers. And they're like, well, we failed. Our army is dead. But then Kel gives them this like motivational speech about, you know, that was actually just the first part of our plan. We lost a lot more than we intended to, but we still got the garrison out of here, so technically it was a win, even though it was a loss. Now Kel is inevitably pissed and is trying to motivate these people into kind of understanding that this was never for money. This was never a job. It was always for the greater good of the people. So now these people are a little bit more motivated, and hopefully they can pull this off. But like I said, they lost a lot of people. And they're all really emotional about it. We also found out that that guy, I can't remember his name, but that guy that was hitting on her at the balls, he was like an heir to one of the major houses, is kind of, I'm not going to say he's a rebel, but he definitely sees the problems of the world and sees all of this crazy stuff and wants the world to be better. And Kel, obviously, thinks that he's just, it's all talk and that he doesn't actually sympathize with the ska. But I kind of think he does. I kind of think that he's going to play a bigger part in this as the story goes on. That's where I'm at. I'm currently on chapter 27, page 457. So I only have a couple hundred pages left, and I'm excited to see where this goes. I think that shit is definitely about to hit the fan. I forgot to mention in my last update that when they were gathered at this like execution style gathering, the Lord Ruler was controlling or soothing like 100,000 ska, which is like insane because no one else can do even like a large room of people, a few thousand. So it's insane that he was able to influence that many people at once. And there's a moment where Vin is burning copper, which means that she is like immune to all Allomancy powers, but she still felt his influence on her even while she was burning copper, which is supposed to be impossible. And on top of that, it took Kelsier rioting all of their true emotions to keep them kind of composed and not under his influence. So he was basically doing a balancing act where the Lord Ruler was making their emotions lessen and Kelsier was making them greater, so it kind of brought them back to normal level. So I think that's interesting, and I think it's definitely something that deserved to be noted. So, yeah. Another thing I forgot to mention, we found out that Vin's father is one of, like, the highest ranking inquisitors out of everyone. So he's like a bigwig, super powerful, and everyone's kind of shocked and like in awe that that is her father. So that really makes me think that something is going on with that earring. Something. Because just something has to be happening here. Okay, so there's this scene that I'm reading right now. Sazid, the guy that can store powers and metals, and Vin are in a room, and she's like, can I, like, take one of your metals? Check if I can use the power that you store in the metal? She was like, okay, here, have some pewter. So he gives her some pewter, and then she's like, I can't access the power that you stored. So this, to me, feels like foreshadowing about Vin's earring. Yes, this thought is still with me, and yes, I am still thinking about it. Like, this is strange, and I need to know if I'm right. So, pretty much everything hit the fan in Mistborn, and it's a lot. Someone was going to go kill her, I guess, boyfriend. It was a Mistborn. So this girl has kind of been politicking her way around, and she has been trying to get Vin to, like, do these secret missions for her. And that was a little suspicious, but I mean, it's court, so Vin ended up having to fight her and ended up pulling one over on her and killing her. So I'm not sure how long she's gonna be able to keep this secret that she's Mistborn, but I guess we'll figure that out. But also, one of the crew members has been killed. I think 2 of the crew members have been killed, if I remember correctly. I don't know, a lot has happened. But they also figured out that Vin, keep in mind that she's also an Inquisitor's daughter, can detect when someone is using allomancy, even if they're burning copper, which is supposed to hide the fact that they're using allomancy. So Inquisitors can as well. So Kelsier wasn't betrayed by his wife like he thought he was. He basically just, these Inquisitors detected their magic before he got there, and his wife was burning metals, and that's why he thanked her for betraying Kelsier. Basically, shit has hit the fan, and their plans have kind of been found out. I'm not sure how much, but they tortured one of the crew members, and we're assuming that they got information out of him before they killed him. So now everyone is in shambles, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do next. Meanwhile, Kelsier went to the pits and started destroying all the atrium, which is that rare metal that pretty much only the Lord Ruler has access to. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm terrified for the ending of this book. And I would love to just read through it because I only have probably like between 75 and 100 pages left. But I have to sleep because it's almost 3 a.m. and I'm exhausted. Yeah, court is screwed. The houses are warring with each other. The Lord Ruler may or may not know what they have planned and may or may not be preparing for it. I guess it's a good thing that Cal kept a lot of his plans secret because no one knows, so no one can really rat him out. And I think that's kind of a positive of him thinking that he was betrayed by his wife. I don't know. I'm scared for the ending of this book, guys. Actually terrified. So, I have no idea what just happened. This is crazy. So Cal, as I said before, destroyed all the atrium in the pits. And there was another execution by the Lord Ruler. Cal ended up killing an Inquisitioner, or whatever the hell they're called. And then the Lord Ruler stabbed him. And he's missing half of his face. I need a minute. He did all of this on purpose? He knew he was gonna die. He knew that all of this was going to come together exactly the way it did. What is even happening? Okay. So let me tell you, that was the plot twist of a lifetime. I don't think I've ever read anything quite like that in my life. I still have like 50 pages left. So I'm going to do this in the most understandable way that I know how, by just pointing out the facts. So Kelsier gets in this one-on-one against the Lord Ruler himself after killing this Inquisitor, which we found out that you can kill an Inquisitor by cutting his head off. So there's that. So that's probably going to be useful in the future. But Kelsier planned this whole thing. And so many things make sense now. Like, how he was kind of building himself up and turning himself into kind of a legend. And I saw that progressing as the story went on. I thought that was just kind of like his ego. Like, he wanted to be this big figure and he wanted to be like the most known like leader of thieves that there was. But like, it's so much more than that. He basically like created a legend. He created the legend of the 11th metal. He created this whole legend about himself and how he was like the spokesperson for hope, which is, you know, intense. But now the entire ska population is in on this, and they will be. So, like, he basically created a religion. That's why he was so obsessed with talking to Saeed, or whatever his name is, about these religions and how these people would follow these leaders even after they were dead. And it was like a constant theme throughout the book and his conversations with the guy. So he was planning to become the spokesperson for the ska and empower them and get them, basically give them a kick in the ass and show them that this is possible and we can do this, because so many people were brought down and were basically dehumanized to the point where they had no hope. They had no drive to do anything except, do what they were told. But now this rebellion has a chance because everyone is on board and everyone has this one person that they connect to and that they can do it. They can do it. It's completely mind-boggling to me. And it explains why he's done so many things, like the fight scene in the caves with the little guy and the big guy, and how this guy didn't believe in anything, and then, he got everyone hyped up and motivated. It's a lot. Oh my God. So, I'm gonna go make dinner and eat and finish this book because I don't know what's gonna happen. I have absolutely zero ideas. But yeah, so he also left a note for Vin about the 11th metal, and he said he doesn't know how it works, he doesn't know really what it does or how to use it. He doesn't think it really does anything useful, but now it's Vin's job to figure out what that metal does and how she can use it to defeat him. So Vin is the Mistborn now. She is the one that has to protect all these people. So, I don't know. It's just mind-boggling. Everything. I'm just in shock. I don't even know what else to say. So, I guess I'm gonna go. Hopefully digest and, process what the hell just happened, because traumatizing. Alright, guys. I'll be back. Okay, guys. So that last 50 pages was a clusterfuck of an ending. So, Kelsier dies, as you know. And then the sky rises up and creates the massive rebellion. Vin breaks into the keep in which the Lord Ruler rules. She uses the secret metal and realizes that it just shows his past self, or what he could have been, basically the opposite of gold. She gets captured, gets put in a prison, a cell, and she's given this metal that basically evaporates all the metals that she has ingested, so they're gone. So she has no metals, and she's in this prison. So then she finds out that Sazid is captured, and they put him in prison, and they're like, we're gonna torture him until you tell us everything, until you tell us all about everything that you guys have been planning, everything you guys have done, blah, blah, blah. So they leave Sazid and her in this room that's separated by cell bars, and Sazid's like, don't worry, I got this. So apparently they had stripped him naked, but he had to make sure he had no metals on him, and he had swallowed metal that provided him with strength. So he buffed up, got his strength, busted out, got her out, and then they left. And then that guy, I can never remember what his name is, the guy that she likes, that's a royal or whatever, sides with the ska, and he's like, dude, you don't have to attack us, we're good, we're on your side, we want this change. So that happens, And then she comes back because she thinks that if she kills the past self of the Lord Ruler, that the Lord Ruler himself will die. So she attacks the past self, burns this metal, attacks the past self, and it doesn't do anything. She can't touch it like she can when she uses gold and sees herself. So she's like, shit, I failed. And she gets beat up, and then she's realizing that he has all this jewelry. And she's like, crap, he is one of these people that can store shit in metals like Sazid. So she pulls off his bracelets, and he basically withers into an old man and dies because he had been collecting youth. So basically she stabs him, and then they realize that obviously he's both an allomancer and I think it's called a seeker. So he's been killing all of these seekers, not because he doesn't want them to exist, but because he doesn't want another allomancer seeker that could possibly challenge him and take over the empire. And then Vin and that guy end up together in the end. And he's the king now. Holy crap. So, my rating for this book is definitely a 5 out of 5. I have never read anything like this before. It was definitely an experience. I think that my thoughts currently are that the middle part with all the politics was a little bit slow for me, but it wasn't like boring. It was still like entertaining and interesting, which is rare because I'm not one of those people that's super into politics in books. So it's kind of cool, and they always like sprinkled information in there about the world and the magic system and stuff, so that was cool. Overall, I really like Brandon Sanderson's writing, and I love what he did with Mistborn, and I am super excited to read the next one, so hopefully I can get to that very soon. But as you guys know, I'm in the middle of House Copathon right now, so I can't just pick up the second book. I have some other stuff that I need to read right now, and I don't want to get burnt out, so I guess that's it. I guess it's over. The end of the blog, the end of the book. It was great. It was absolutely fantastic. And I know this vlog is super long, but if you guys have stuck around, I appreciate it. And I guess I will talk to you guys soon.